We've seen in a previous session that HRWize provides you the ability to keep a record of high-value assets, such as computers, associated peripherals, mobile phones, and security devices. Here we will look at how to assign to and return from an asset that has been assigned to an employee. Going to Facilities and then Assets, we can see all the assets listed, one of which we have added manually, and the remaining ones were added via bulk upload by going to Administration, Company, and then bulk upload. The Asset Available status tells us which assets are available to check out. And here we can see the actions allowing us to edit, check out or check in, add an image, view the asset history, retire, or delete the asset. So now we want to assign this asset to an employee. So we'll click on the checkout icon. From the drop-down here, we select the employee to assign the asset to. Here, choose the date from which the asset is assigned. Here, you can select Yes to require the employee to electronically sign the asset. You can add or update the asset signature declaration by going to Administration, Company, Settings, and then Company Settings. When you have completed all the mandatory fields, you click on Submit to save. And then you can see that the asset has been checked out successfully. After clicking on the assets at the top of the screen, we can see that the asset is no longer available and is assigned to an employee, which in this case is Angela Martin. Please note that if you do set the From date in a future date, the Asset Available column will be set to Booked. We can see the asset checked out to this employee by simply going to People and then Employees. Search for and find and select the employee you are looking for. Then scrolling down to Employees' card, we can click on the Assets action, and here we can see the asset or assets assigned to this employee. Returning to Facilities and then Assets, we can click on what is now the check-in icon to check the asset back in. In the To Date field, we select the date the asset that has been checked in. And if necessary, add any comments. We then click on Submit, and we can see that the asset has been successfully checked in. Now we can see that the asset is again available to be reassigned or checked out again. Before checking out again, you may want to update the asset details, perhaps to change the condition from new to used, and add some comments. The asset may have been damaged in some way, however, it is still serviceable, but we want to recall the damage. We can then also upload an image of the asset showing the damage. Then you click on Submit to finish. Clicking on Assets on top of the page again, we return to our list of assets. So now we can click on Checkout again to assign this to another employee. Now, let's click on the History action. Scrolling down at the bottom of the page, we can see that the condition is showing as used with the supporting comments describing the condition of the asset. Remember that there can be additional images showing the original and damaged conditions. And finally, at the bottom of the screen, we can see the history of this asset showing from when, to, and who the asset was assigned. Now we're done, we'll click on Cancel. There may come a time when you decide to retire the asset from use. To do this, you can click on the Retire action, followed by an OK. However, in this case, there is a warning telling us that we need to check in the asset first. After checking in the asset, we can click on the Retire action again, followed by an OK. And this time, there is no warnings. Scrolling down at the bottom of the screen, we can click on the Retired Assets. Here, there are actions where we can still view the asset history. Perhaps you may wish to click on Return action and make it available again in the list of assets. Or if it's absolutely damaged, we can click on the Delete action.